Why does the first number you see have the power to influence every decision that follows? Today, you'll discover how your brain can be tricked without you even realizing it. Imagine you're shopping for a jacket. The original price says $500. Today, it's on sale for $199. Your first thought is, wow, that's a great deal. But here's the question. Is it really worth $199? Or did the first price already make the new one seem cheap before you even started thinking? Your brain had already made a comparison. The original price became an anchor. Every number after that was judged against it. This invisible shortcut is called anchoring bias. Anchoring bias is our tendency to rely too heavily on the very first piece of information we receive when making a decision, even if that information is completely random or totally irrelevant. Our brain still uses it as a reference point. One famous experiment demonstrated this perfectly. Researchers asked participants to spin a wheel, numbered from 0 to 100. The wheel stopped on a random number. Then, they asked a completely unrelated question. What percentage of countries in the United Nations are in Africa? The wheel had absolutely nothing to do with the answer. Yet something surprising happened. People who saw higher numbers on the wheel gave much higher estimates. People who saw lower numbers gave much lower estimates. A random number had quietly anchored their thinking. The same thing happens when buying a car. A salesperson says, "I'm asking $30,000. After negotiating, you pay $26,000. You feel like you got a great deal. But what if the car was only worth $23,000? The first price became your anchor. Anchoring bias affects far more than shopping. Your first salary, the first house price you hear, the first review you read, even your first impression of another person. The first piece of information often shapes every judgment that follows. Online stores understand this psychology very well. That's why they display huge original prices, massive discounts, countdown timers, and limited time offers. They're not just selling products. They're creating anchors inside your mind. So how can you avoid anchoring bias? The next time you make an important decision, ask yourself, is this first number actually meaningful? What would I think if I had never seen it? Can I compare it with independent information? Those simple questions can save you from expensive mistakes. Anchoring bias teaches us one important lesson. The first number you see isn't always the right one. Don't let your mind become anchored by someone else's starting point. Look beyond the first impression. Focus on the real value. Only then can you make truly rational decisions.